And we continue to watch developing news out of Oklahoma at this hour. A massive tornado, they say a mile wide, tearing through the Oklahoma City area. Witnesses say this storm is tossing homes into the air. The tornado, as I mentioned, at least a mile wide. Pictures there, live pictures from the ground. This is in Moore, Oklahoma. This is south of Oklahoma City. We're still waiting to hear any word of any injuries or fatalities. Now, Joanne, what I've been told is this is a violent, massive tornado, catastrophic. Students, this tornado was happening at just about the time that the students would be let out of classrooms. They say they held the students in the classroom so they could take shelter. They remain in classrooms in Moore, Oklahoma at this point in time until they wait for this line of thunderstorms to go through. Street flooding, hail, just a lot of devastation in Moore, Oklahoma at this time.
Well, we've been monitoring a whole lot of news sources about this. I know CNN reporting that schools, in plural there, hit by the tornadoes, some potentially just devastated by this. So this is a city just dealing with just tragedy right now. You saw that thing move through, just dramatic pictures of how large that tornado was. Dave, I know you can probably weigh in a little bit on the size of this thing. We mentioned a mile. I actually heard that almost 2 miles wide at one point.
You know, it really is impressive that this, for those of you who follow severe weather and tornadoes too, this is Moore, Oklahoma, which is the site of typically what's thought of the strongest tornado we've ever had in the United States and really on this planet back on May 3rd, 1999. So they were hit again. And the school, one of the schools you're talking about, the school itself, where most of the classrooms were, was intact. The gymnasium had a swath cut. The middle third was just absolutely gone.
Wow.
The corners of the gymnasium were left,
and you can take
the building is gone.
Yeah. Now, Dave, you're talking about that tornado with a 302 mile-per-hour winds back in 1999, was it? And so this is also what happened in Moore, which is kind of the epicenter.
Right, same town. This was just a suburb of Oklahoma City, and that historically has been kind of the benchmark of the strongest tornado. And this one looks like it could rival that in terms of the wind speeds and the size.
It's like there's a fire to the lower part of the screen. This is live
out,
pictures, of course.
Which we see happen when storms like this and tornadoes go through. And just the staggering thing, I think, when you see a storm like this, it's there 1 second, it's gone, and within seconds, look at the devastation left behind.
These are moving about 40 miles an hour, and of course, when you think about it, where there are schools, there are neighborhoods, and so that is a tough...
We'll see that neighborhood right there, a subdivision. It looks like all you see are just the foundations of homes, which is typical of a tornado coming through that area. And remember, yesterday in Shawnee, Oklahoma, not too far from there, they had a line of thunderstorms and a tornado spawn out of them yesterday.
And the worst part about Oklahoma is that they have a very sandy soil, and so they have no basements. We always talk here in Michigan about going to the basement, but you will see some of these neighborhoods where it's literally just a chunk of cement left, and there is absolutely everything gone. That is the platform for the house, the slab, but everything is gone because they can't build a basement with the unstable soil there. So lots of times you hear about storm shelters. They might have a shelter that they'll go to, which is basically, you know, dug out of the sand in a very small safe house kind of thing underground. But typically, you go down there to buy a house, you will not have a basement in it. Of course, that's a tremendous amount of safety that we have around here to be below ground level when something comes like this comes through. Now, we don't typically get storms like this, but down in Oklahoma, it's certainly the breeding ground for strong to severe tornadoes.